We wanted to take this time to rank the top 10 best regular season moments. You ready for okay, so let me break it down. Bennett sent me 5 of his favorite storylines from the season. I put down 5 of my favorite storylines of the season. I combined them to power rank them. I haven't done the Sunbelt power rankings for a few weeks, but I got my power ranking hat on, and I decided to power rank the top 10 storylines of the year. Me and him, we had a few similarities, so we only had 7 between us. So I threw in an extra 3 at the end so we could round out a top 10. Are you ready for number 1?
Oh, we're starting with number 1.
Oh, you're right. Let's start with number 10.
Oh, we're starting with number 10.
Good call. Good call. This is why we are podcasting duos for 5 years. Number 10 storyline of the JMU football season. JMU is going bowling.
Good one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Did you enjoy? I want to ask you. Did you enjoy the tracking? Did
No.
you track?
No, it was stupid. I hated it. It's kind of like my take now, how I've done with the Bulls now, where I'm trying to take a step back on Twitter and just let people argue about it to argue about it. That was kind of my thing with the tracking too. I just wanted to take a step when I knew I was going to know. And when we didn't get it, I knew I was going to be one of the first to know because I constantly live on Twitter. Same with this bowl stuff. When we know what bowl it's going to be, I'll know what bowl it's going to be. There's no point in trying to figure it out now because we're going to figure it out in a few days. So I didn't like the bowl tracking. Kind of annoyed my watching experience on Saturday too, with the group chat with you and Dom just consistently blowing up. I had like 3 or 4 other people also texting me about like, do we need this to happen? What's happening? How many more games? And I was just like, I really don't know. And I truly do not care.
I don't ever want it to happen again.
Yeah.
But the end of the 3:30 window, I enjoyed, where it was Washington hit the game-winning field goal late. Oklahoma State survived in double overtime. They had some stuff sort of go their way late that started to be entertaining. And then when Florida State, I think Florida State clinched it, or at least that's what we were saying. And then Clemson won right after. So it was definitely good by then. And then Hawaii even won to really just lock it in for everybody. But based on that, our count was correct because JMU, Jacksonville State, Minnesota. So there were 3. So it was Florida State that got it. I know there was some confusion. People were saying, oh, it's not official. And we were like, yes, it is.
And then Clemson ended and we were like, see, now it definitely is.
Yeah, it totally is. I also liked Florida State fans who found our tweet and were like doing like a handshake. They're like, we love you guys and happy to help you out. And it's like, what do you? All right.
Did you see one guy? He responded. He goes, for payment, we'll take your defensive end with all the sacks. And I wanted to respond and be like, he's out of eligibility. Like, oh,
I forgot. Didn't Ben tell us that they were doing that rumor like early season?
They've been doing it like all year. Yeah. So apparently Jalen Green has been on Florida State's radar since the jump. All right. Number 10 storyline from this JMU football season.
Number 9.
D'Angelo Pons is a dog.
That's right. Deep end.
Well, his storyline, his emergence, and then having the overtime forcing interception and going from a backup, I don't even think he was on the first 2 deep, to being the number 1, number 2 cornerback. That just emergence, that growth throughout the year was an awesome storyline to follow.
Hopefully they don't lose too many guys. We'll see how the portal goes and the coaching staff goes. They have a lot of that guy should be on a Power 5 roster, guys.
Do you think now that they're able, like with the college football playoff expanding next year, do you think that will hold some JMU players? Granted, money's money and NIL checks. I'm not going to judge a student athlete for wanting to go get a milli, but
I think it will. I think it's definitely going to help. They might have some NIL opportunities on campus. Some of that's kind of unclear, but I think they'll keep some guys. I wonder if they get to a point where people play there, ball out, and then maybe late in their career, if they're not getting an NFL look, they take an NIL bag and then also go to a Power 5 to try to get an NIL look like some other guys have done. But who knows? It's a good spot to be, and they're going to get enough exposure here in the next few years probably that you could legitimately, if you play well, make an NFL roster and be drafted.
I think they have NFL guys on the roster now.
Yeah, me too.
I think in a few years they're going to be one of the most. This is a hot take. This might be purple lensed all the way. I think in a few years they're going to have the most draft picks of a Group of 5 team.
Yo,
Consistently.
They keep Cignetti for another 3 to 5 years. They're winning a playoff game.
Yeah.
Book it.
I don't think that's crazy. Number 8. There's 2 1,000-yard receivers this year.
That's crazy.
And one of them wasn't a starter week 1.
Surratt is so good. And also Reggie Brown, like, really good. I know we expected him, like, oh, he'll take a step forward. He was unreal as a deep threat. Did not expect him to be that great down the field.
His connection with McLeod was unreal.
He basically won him the Utah State game.
He kind of won him a few games this year.
Big time. He was great in the Marshall game, right, when they started to get the offense going.
Yeah, because of the signals. They had Connor Stallions on the sideline, yeah. Number 7, this is where it gets into not just the extra ones I threw in. Number 7, the number 7 storyline from JMU football this season, not tackling in fall camp.
This is just a Jack Fitzpatrick special. Why don't you explain how this still bothers you late November?
Look, the App State overtime, how many missed tackles were there? If they had tackled in fall camp, maybe one of those gets tackled, is all I'm saying.
They're going to tackle in fall camp next year and have like 4 preseason injuries, and you're going to be like, what are they doing?
Look, it was just so evident early on in the season, it felt like.
The Virginia tackling was horrendous.
Like, just,
That's an interesting one. I like that.
Number 6, the emergence of Aiden Fisher. There was 2 injuries this season to 2 potential Sun Belt caliber first-team linebackers in Torres Jones and Jalen Walker. They missed a lot of time after the UVA game. They never really saw a huge drop-off at the linebacker position, mainly because of the amazing play of Aiden Fisher. And then when they got healthy, the 2 injured linebackers, Walker and Jones, Aiden Fisher pushed Torres Jones off the field. Aiden Fisher went from a backup linebacker that got spot cleanup duty to being the Mike. Daniel Merriman shouted that out to us. He's the Mike. Yeah. He's the one controlling all the signals, the play calls, what is being told to him. That's fantastic.
His stats are so good. He's got 91 tackles. Nobody else on the roster has more than 55. He's second on the team to D'Angelo Pons in pass breakups with 7. He's third on the team with 5 quarterback hurries. He's the only non-defensive lineman to have at least 5 of those. He also blocked the punt, I believe, against UVA that was recovered by Pons for a touchdown. Just a stud. Like, we talk about like Power 5 guys on the roster. Yeah, he's one of them. Like, he's also bigger than the other, like Jones and Walker. Like, he is a Power 5 linebacker on JMU's roster.
Quarterback at Riverbend, linebacker at Riverbend in Fredericksburg, Virginia, has come on and has been just a monster linebacker. Excited for him next year with Jalen Walker if they both come back, because I believe Jalen Walker has another year of eligibility.
Yeah.
Number 5, the number 5 storyline from the JMU football season, the App State weekend.
Tough loss, but I thought it was a great weekend. Game day comes. The home crowd stays for all of overtime, right? Packed house, 26,000 or whatever it was. Certainly close to it. Great atmosphere, incredible rivalry. That's a weekend that I will never forget. I thought that was a ton of fun and great for the program. Even with the loss, I think it shined a nice light on the Sun Belt.
Yeah, it was a fun one for sure. The loss kind of hurt me a little bit though.
Fair enough.
But that it was a great overall weekend, recruiting, everything like that. Number 4, we have a video to go along with number 4. Let's go!
Yeah.
The UVA win is number 4 in our favorite JMU storylines this season. I want you to take this away, the former UVA beat writer, what this meant for you as a JMU fan.
This was awesome, man. What a game. It's one that I'll remember forever. Just a great win, but also one that was an absolute roller coaster of emotion. And that's what stands out the most. The early 14-0 start where I was like, everyone's going to leave this stadium early. It's only going to be purple. That turned out to be true, but for a different reason. I thought everyone was going to leave early. I was like, wow, this is over. Like, are we going to drop 70 today? This is cool. Like, UVA stinks. And then it started to get a little iffy in there. And then there was a point where I thought JMU was going to get blown out, where they were very much struggling. Going into the rain delay, I still didn't have a lot of hope. Then they complete that incredible fourth quarter comeback. Memories of a lifetime. Anthony Calandria, 4th and 20, has his guy wide open and says, yeet, and threw it as far as he possibly could, which was only like 8 yards too far. And gosh, they won the game. What a win.
Also, just the weekend itself was a great time. We got great dinner at the local. We tried to go to 3 Notch, but it was like a 3-hour wait after the game. Apparently they don't, value our partnership or something like that. But no, it was a great time. Awesome Airbnb, hung out with some fantastic people, drank some Bold Rock, drank some 3 Notch, and that was just a fantastic weekend. I think that was a better weekend than the App State weekend. But not saying the App State weekend wasn't fantastic, but like that was just so much fun. Can I run a hot take by you?
Yes.
I don't know if I've said this on the podcast. I think away games are better than home games.
Away games are super fun because it's like there's only a certain collection of JMU fans there. It's just a little like you got to kind of maybe a little more effort sometimes to go. There's I love away games. Away games are great.
They're fun. All right, number 4. Got to find it here. Number 4. The heavyweight belt is just an epic moment. The Troy fans in attendance who got so hurt by it. Oh, man,
Good.
That's a good one.
So good. Yeah, if you're listening to the audio and you couldn't see, Pat Coons, heavyweight belt against Troy, defensive line coach. He did the sleeping, but he did the heavyweight belt so many times. And then it seems like he's done, and then he runs back, and you're like, oh, he's done, but he just wants his players to go, toward midfield, everyone else. And then he does like 3 more. He's like, boom, boom, boom. And Cignetti, I think, made a comment after that was like, oh, we talked to him. We can't do it. Don't care. So good.
Epic.
One of the best moments of the year.
Epic. Number 2, the number 2 moment from this JMU football regular season, the quarterback one battle, quote unquote battle, because apparently after the first day of fall camp, it was Alonzo Barnett taking all QB1 snaps. Then according to Curt Cignetti in that Bucknell game, he got the yips. And so Jordan McLeod stepped in the second half and he put together maybe a Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year resume. Just an otherworldly kind of roller coaster of emotion for us JMU fans, where especially for us, when that transfer was announced, we were like, he's going to win the Sun Belt Offensive Player of the Year. There's no way he doesn't win this competition, this, that, and the other. People didn't agree with us. People kind of were saying some things, and then there was some things that were said at the start of the season. Bennett was photoshopped onto a clown because he was mad that the coverage wasn't what he wanted it to be. We all were a little upset, and then it ended up being that we were right.
It ended up being that we were right, and thankfully all those feuds have completely ended.
Do you have that shirt?
Yeah, I've got that shirt. I should have worn it.
Can you grab it?
I think it's in my car, so it's not within grabbing distance. I got to figure out exactly where I put it with all my travels. Okay. I'll bring it out for the next one, or at least a full season podcast.
Thank you.
But what a crazy storyline. What a ridiculous offseason. If you had told me at halftime of Bucknell that JMU would go 11-1, I'd be like, no, that's not right. Like maybe 1-11. Like they were giving up some like chunk plays in the passing game that was weird. And then they couldn't complete a pass. And now they've got one of the most efficient passing offenses in the Sun Belt.
Yeah. If you're listening, watching on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it may be, drop in the comment section what your favorite moment from the regular season was. We want to know what you guys thought your top moments from this JMU regular season, JMU football regular season was. So drop it in the comments if you're on YouTube or Facebook. Reply to this tweet if you're on Twitter. And before we go into if anyone drops those into the comments, can we get a drum roll, Bennett? The number one moment from the JMU football season was.
Here we go. They're just showing.
Curt
Cignetti.
You can't use that.
Oh, he's got his phone out.
That you can't use that. That is illegal from the minute the replay has started.
Wow.
You can't do that.
I've never seen that.
That is illegal.
That is illegal.
Phone moment has to be hands down the best moment of the entire season. In that moment, I don't think we knew they were going to piss away a 35-point lead or whatever it was and nearly choke that game away. But I mean, it just makes that game so much better.
What a hilarious game. Mountain West Network, which was just awful. I mean, just horrible broadcast with big homer announcers. Curt Cignetti takes a phone out, it's someone else's phone. He's showing a replay that they messed up on a ridiculous fake field goal touchdown. There was actually a nice little play. They got a fast kicker there at Utah State. Nimrod can run.
Nimrod.
What a hilarious game. That's the one game, maybe more than any of the others, that I'll remember really well, just because it was so ridiculous. The broadcast was hilarious. The phone was hilarious. The actual game itself was absurd.
What a game.
What a game.
I mean, just look at this. Just one more time. Just one more time for the number one moment of the JMU football season.
Here we go. They're just showing.
Curt
Cignetti.
You can't use that.
Oh, he's got his phone out.
That you can't use that. That is illegal from the minute the replay has started.
Wow.
You can't do that.
I've never seen that.
I love the whole sequence where every coach and assistant on the sideline is giving them the phone. They're like, look at the phone. And then they're like, you can't do that. And they all just sort of like slink away. And they're like, right. We didn't. Yeah, we didn't do that.
It's also, then if you listen to the commentary, the play-by-play guy clearly is like, this is funny, isn't it? And then the color guy's like, this is illegal. What? No, you can't do this. Someone arrest this man. And meanwhile, the play-by-play guys, this is funny.
It was so funny. And yeah, they wanted him like jailed for that. It was quite the reaction. They were announcers.
All right. So that's the top 10 moments from the JMU football regular season.